Yeah.
Make the stream live. Hold on, it's loading up right now.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Sir.
All right, we good to go. What's good, people? We back on deck.
Yeah.
Roundtable Q&A. Happy Monday for all the people out there. What's
Yes,
good?
sir.
Vibes.
Pardon our lateness. We on CPT.
As long as it's greatness.
Lateness, but greatness. I like
Indeed.
that. Dean with the wordplay as always.
We in the building.
Dean, when we put shirts together, man, we come straight to you.
I'm gonna have some lingos.
We need all that slang.
We need
You got you'll be having like the Wu-Tang slang.
Oh shit! Coming from you, that's heavy, son.
Matt Max said we gotta get Coop and Mike.
Background.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
Matt Max said we gotta get Cooper Mike on. Yo, Cooper pull up whenever it's Mike. Mike ain't come to New York. He ain't come on the round table. Mike, stop acting funny, Mike.
Pull up, Mike.
Pull up, Mike.
Pull up.
Come to the lunch table.
Man.
It's not how you really feel, Mike.
Stop ducking and fade, Mike. We saw you without your hat a couple weeks ago. It was like a whole new person. You know what I mean? Put your hat on. Put your hat back on and come join the rap round table.
Let's rap.
Let's work.
Come through.
Yo, you might catch us in Brooklyn. You might catch us in LES. You might catch, you know what I mean? Like
the city is ours, man.
We might catch you. Don't forget that.
The only place you're not gonna catch us is probably Staten Island. No disrespect, but that's the most
shout
likely
out to
place you won't see.
Shout out to the Shallon, but y'all a bit out there, though.
Yeah,
bit out there.
Hands down.
Need something different than a ferry, y'all.
Word. That's crazy.
That's out of the way.
Yo, but you know what I mean? But shouts to Wu-Tang for like making the mark that they did, considering how far out they were and having to deal with that ferry shit.
That's a fact.
Like growing up here, we know we was not fucking with nothing that Staten Island had to offer or had to say. You know what I mean? But for them to be able to make their mark despite that, that's, you know what I mean?
Heavy. Legendary.
There was a lot of Brooklyn ties to Wu-Tang that helped matters too. You know, a lot of the OG members had a lot of heavy trenches. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Old Dirty.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
You know what I mean? What's good with y'all though? I'm getting the link ready for Facebook. All our Facebook friends could pull up there. Twitter people could pull up there. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't got access to the chat right now. Y'all see anybody up in the spot?
Yeah, the chat little actors, bro.
Nas the GOAT on deck. Nah, plus on deck. What up, y'all? Mad Max, Mike H.
What are you talking
about? The team
about?
is in the building.
Drake versus Nas. I'm here for it. What you talking about? Drake versus Nas?
Excuse me.
Did I miss something?
Hold on.
Did I miss something? What did you? Yo,
clearly we did.
Jar, what did you type in the thing?
I didn't type that in the thing. I said Hitboy calls out producers, Nas in the club, new J. Cole. There's nothing about Drake.
What's
going on? Nas versus Drake.
That's crazy.
Real quick before
what Quentin Miller has to say about that.
Everybody who's pulled up in here, make sure y'all hit that like button. The like button keeps us in the algorithm, keeps us growing the brand. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. I'll remind y'all a few times as we go along as well. You know what I mean? But yeah, let me get back to the book.
Oh, yeah.
He Mike H confused me for a second. I'm like, Nas versus Drake? What's that? Since when? Since when?
Yeah.
I mean, my laptop just doing what it wants to do. All right, bet. Yo, but Sin, Mason and I did the lunch hour the other day. We talked about Hitboy and this whole situation with his rapping and calling out producers, and then we hear the whole track with Alchemist. Mason and I got to give our takes on the Alchemist track, but what about this whole thing with Hitboy calling out these producers, bro?
Listen, I love it, man. I love it. Do your thing, Hitboy. Call these motherfuckers out. You know what I mean? And whoever feels froggy, you know, they'll bounce. You know what I mean? We already got Hitmaker feeling a little froggy. You know what I mean? But look. I seen the shit that kind of started this whole thing where Hitmaker was on Ebro, right? In the team.
Jimmy.
Right. And like Ebro was giving love to both of them. Hitmaker, Hitboy, two modern day producers. Apparently Hitmaker took some type of offense. I don't know why. Like, don't put my name next to his name. I'm on the radio, but like Hitboy has his catalog, his resume is way longer than Hitmaker's. You know what I mean? So I was looking at that like, yo, he obviously feels some type of chip on his shoulder You know what I mean? And it might just be from past experiences. It might just be from, things where, occurrences that happen that may make him feel disrespected and like he's quick on the trigger because we know the stories. Y'all told the stories.
We did.
You know what I mean? So he might just be that type of dude that like is quick to feel disrespected. Obviously, Ebro meant no disrespect by what he said. He was just giving equal love to both of them. But look, Hitmaker has his lane, man. If you know what I mean, if his lane is making generic, rehashed, forgettable music for limited radio play, then that's the lane that it is. You know what I mean? But he gets his bags off of that. That's cool. You know what I mean? He's the type of, you know what? The feeling I get from Hitmaker's music, like I feel like he makes music for people who's based their whole personality around bottle sparklers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, boy.
Damn it.
That's the feeling that I get from his music.
Wow, Sen.
You know what I mean? He got the generic drums. He's reusing samples that have been used and reused all throughout the years. You know what I mean? But it resonates with certain people. He has his lane. He has his niche. He should be happy with his niche. You know what I mean? But with somebody like Hitboy has been there and done that. He had the hits, monster hits. You know what I mean? We remember when niggas in Paris got played like 10 different times on stage in Paris. Like, come on now. Come on. And now Hitboy he's been there and done that. And now he's reached a point in his career where he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do passion projects. I'm gonna do the shit that I love with the artists that I love and respect. Whether or not it gets on the radio, he already been on the radio. He's done that. You know what I mean? Fast forward now to this past weekend, he just dropped an R&B project with Music Soul Child. And I listened to that shit and I was like, holy shit. I see why they coming for Hitboy. I see why certain producers are feeling like a chip on their shoulder when Hitboy's name comes up. Because that project is crazy.
They're feeling the pressure.
Front to back, man. Shouts to Hitboy. Hitboy's out here doing his thing, making classics with Nas, Music Soul Child shit, hits upon hits, resume crazy. You know what I mean? But Hitmaker, you're doing your thing too.
Real quick before we move on, Mike H with the super chat says, I feel 21 repeated a combo he had with Drake. Drake books a 2-night at the Garden and Barclays. Competition, no beef. So Mike H is saying that by Aubrey booking the Garden and Barclays, that there might have been a side conversation about Nas being relevant with Aubrey. See, I don't like these kind of things. Mike H, we appreciate the super chat, but we don't have any evidence to support that. So how can we?
So speculative.
We can't build a narrative without actual factuals, bro. You know what I mean? So this is a little tricky.
Plus, anyone who comes to my fault, job. Anyone who comes to New York going to do that.
Exactly. And Drake is the biggest act in the world. He was just in the Apollo. So if Nas goes and does the Apollo next week, he's copying Drake. Let's not do that, guys.
Come on,
you know
bro.
what I mean? Let's stay within the realm of the facts and the evidence that supports the facts. Dini, what do you think about Mike H? Not Mike H. See, Mike H got my whole head messed up. Mike H. What do you think about Hitboy's, calling out his fellow brethren?
Well, I think it was dope of him. I think it was hip hop of him. We're in a new phase, bro. We're in a new phase. Like I'll use a NBA player reference. You got players that are good, dudes that go to the playoffs all the time. But there's a dude that's like, yo, but I make the All-Star team, and that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not winning no rings, it don't matter. Hitboy's out here winning rings because that's the way I took it from the conversation with Hitmaker. Hitmaker's making great music. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna do him like Sin did. You know what I'm saying? Because he do got some hits. He's a literal hitmaker. Like he's got hits on the charts, bro. Like it's undeniable. But Hitboy's like making like classical shit.
He's not making Hitboy hits though.
It's not the same because one is definitely
in Paris. He's not making those type of hits.
He's not making collab albums with legendary artists. I mean, even the shit he did with Big Sean and Hitboy was still decent. You get what I'm saying? Like whenever Hitboy is in the building, albums go good. That I can't say for Hitmaker. I say songs go good. But we're talking production, we're talking rap. The shit he did with with Alchemist. I've never seen nobody do that before, bro. I've never seen two dudes whip up a beat and literally rap to each other's beat. You get what I'm saying? Like
that was fire.
Hold
That
on,
was
wait. Let's not
absolute
get there.
culture.
Hold on. We go. Because I want to break that whole song down
Copy.
as a family.
But
real quick,
Joe.
Real quick, bro. That you made a point about Hitmaker being on the radio and saying what he said about Hitboy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know what it is? Sin, you made a point. I like the energy that y'all came on here with. And Hitmaker's success, he's had a lot of success. Even if, like I said on Friday, when I hear Hitmaker, I go the other way. I don't listen. Because to me, the song he makes really, like really, I don't want
generic. Say it.
Generic. But not even that. It's like low grade as far as qualitatively speaking. Like it's gonna get on the radio. It's gonna get the spins.
It's gonna eat. Yeah.
But it's like empty calories. Like when I talked about Russell Westbrook's triple doubles many moves ago, it's like he's getting empty calorie stats. He's getting the numbers, but what does it mean? What does it mean in the fourth quarter? Is he scoring? And I felt like he tried to look like really, like he tried to talk like Hitboy was like Derringer, one of these guys, just making boom bap projects. Like I think he really forgot who the fuck Hitboy was because of his success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say something. That's why I got out the
way.
No.
No, but what I was gonna answer your point, that your low calorie, that point you made about low calories. It's the same feeling that I have, because like, so this is what I say by he found his lane, he's found his niche, right? He makes a joint, it resonates with people immediately because it's using familiar sounds, familiar samples that like, resonate. But there's no real like passion behind it. So like when it hits the radio waves, it'll spin for like a limited amount of time. And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, yeah, like he's making music that will get to the radio, but only for limited play. Like at a certain point, people just forget about it and move on to the next shit.
Like,
right. What's a
Hitmaker
song that's really like stuck to the ribs and has stood for a certain amount of time?
Right. Like, is there to me, like DJ Mustard, say what you will about Mustard, but when Mustard had his run, I feel like when I hear songs like 24 Hours come on and that beat drop, I'm gonna remember where I was at when Mustard had the shit on Smash, because to me those songs just hit better. It felt like Cali. It felt a different twist on the Cali sound, and he was really finding a way to flip that same beat over and over again in a very impressive way. You had the 2-on joint by Tinashe. These joints was really heavy, and it didn't make me feel like I don't feel good when I listen to Hitmaker songs. Like it just feels like yuck. Like this is sappy. It's gross, bro.
And the whole reason this shit started. This is just for the world to understand. The whole reason this shit started because the nigga just didn't know how to be just plain humble, bro. Nigga said, yo, shout out to you, a Hitmaker. Instead of just going, yo, shout out to Hitboy. He's doing amazing things with the legend Nas. He's doing amazing things in the culture. Shout out to him. He had to be Hitmaker and make it all about him, and shit went left. You see, this is the righteousness, B. You did.
And then you go with the media niggas who not gonna say chill, they gonna fan the flame. He was right in it. Even Jimmy Mace was talking about it. Capo didn't know what was going on.
He just got with the shit.
Nah, but a couple people felt, I feel like Rosenberg felt it going left and was like, yo, this isn't where we wanted this to go. Like, this is unnecessary. You know what I mean? But Ebro always got
He wanted it.
Controversy sells. He wanted all that energy.
He was the radio guy, right?
He wants the radio.
I
mean,
he's light-skinned Charlemagne. He got then
try to drop the platitudes at the end, but the shit came off as super phony, man. You should have just said that from the beginning. Bro. The nigga's nice. He's amazing. Shout out to him. He was in the garden with Escobar the other day. Like a little love could have been shown for a nigga doing amazing work, bro.
So now I'm gonna be problematic and throw it to me. I think that the fan theory that Mike H constructed saying that 20 and Drake was talking about Nas, I think that Hitmaker's been in these back rooms talking about Hitboy, saying this nigga can't fuck with me. Look what he talking about Nas. I'm making these hit records. What do you think about my fan theory, Mace?
Nah, listen, I can see that wholeheartedly, and I won't be surprised if Ebro was like privy to that, and that was the reason he brought him up anyway, because he did kind of bring him up unprovoked. You know what I mean? Like we interview people, right? You never really bring up other artists while you're interviewing an artist. That alone is a little bit shaky. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I feel like, you know, we're some shit starters, so we could definitely see some shit like that happen. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
And I wanted to not even be lost when it comes to these two. Like, you know, like in as rap fans, right? Especially as New York-based rap fans, you know, I think we could kind of always get stuck into like whatever is more hip hop is automatically better, right? You know what I mean? So if that's pop, but this is more rap based, this is better. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm not necessarily always that guy, right? I like women. I like going outside. I like the popular shit sometimes. You feel what I'm saying?
We
all do. We'll get to that.
But the thing is this, it's like if this was like a, say, you know, like a Neptunes versus Primo argument where one is like the bastion of hits and one is the bastion of real shit, that would be an argument, right? But in this argument, Hitboy has bigger hits. I don't want y'all to get lost on that, guy. Hitboy has bigger hits than this guy who's bragging about having more hits than Hitboy. So I don't understand where Hitmaker could even make these arguments, bro.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate for the table then. I think because there was a time, I'm sorry, chat, don't kill me. You know, you might anyway, but just hear me out. There was a time when Hitboy kind of cooled off and niggas forgot.
True.
Think about around circa KD1. Hitboy wasn't niggas in Paris, Hitboy. You know what I mean?
But shouldn't Young Berg understand that happens sometimes, bro?
Well, Young Berg has, you're right.
With all chains intact.
The biggest, who has a bigger chip on their shoulder than Berg got slapped by this guy, Mano, and got Robbie joked about it on Friday. Like, Young Berg is taking a lot of L's in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So he's the type of dude that when he does get a chance to talk his shit, he might say some out-of-pocket shit, not realizing where he's at, because for a while he was the butt of many people's jokes. And I think we saw it in real time, like, yeah, I'm up. And this guy here is getting all this classic talk is surrounding Hitboy. All this versatile talk is surrounding Hitboy. Meanwhile, I'm on the fucking radio. Who the fuck is Hitboy? And he forgot where he was at.
But yeah, and this always goes back to the same or similar conversation that we have a lot at this table, which is like culture versus, you know, mainstream appeal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no matter how you cannot convince me otherwise. No matter how much an artist or a producer achieves a certain amount of mainstream appeal, if they're not throwing the word classic or timeless around their name, they're gonna feel some type of way. And they're always gonna come back to, but I got the money, but I got the fame, but I got the sales, but I got the radio spins.
But that comes back to the art form, because this shit is still art at the end of the day.
Exactly. And so if they feel like that one thing is missing, that respect from either, you know,
peers,
or the peers or the cultural, you know, OGs, you know what I mean? Like, if they don't feel that love, if they don't feel that respect, they're always going to feel some type of way.
It's that sports shit we talk about. You could have the MVPs, you could have the stats, but do you have the championship? And the classic album is the championship. To me, that's it. That's the ring. Because that means that's not going nowhere. You always have that ring.
And you know what's crazy? To second what you just said, Sid, and to second what you just said, John, like in the reverse, it still means something. Like you can have all the money, all the clout, all the accolades, but not have the classic, and you won't be able to sleep at night. But you got the dudes that got the skill and the albums. They don't got the money. They don't pack the shows the way they used to, but they're a Rakim, where they're like highly regarded, like worldwide, for being like a huge part of this hip hop shit. I'm sure that keeps niggas up at night, bro.
Look at how Hov acknowledged the God at the Grammys. Like Hov was a fan, not billionaire guy. He seen one of his idols and been fanned out.
Genuine respect.
Miss LB with the super chat says Hitboy said he was only sending shots towards one dude, Hitmaker. I mean, you right, Miss LB, but he named like 3 other producers. So you know what I mean?
He touched a few people on that record,
and not necessarily in a positive way, either.
Right. And it reminded me a lot of Kendrick's Control verse. You know what I mean? Not delivery wise, clearly. You know what I mean? But in terms of like calling names out,
free smoke,
not necessarily dissing them, but like just sending a little shot, not a disrespectful shot, but a shot like, yo, like let's compete, let's fight, let's argue, let's, you know what I mean? Let's get in the ring, let's battle this out. You know what I mean? Because a lot of that energy is missing these days. You know what I mean? Like every time somebody, you know, calls somebody else out, it's always beef, right? 0 to 100 every time, right? it always winds up being beef. And a lot of that has to do with the media and how the headlines end up happening. But like, nah, man, let's get that competitive energy in there, man. I'm all here for what Hitboy is doing right now.
You know what I mean? The Mike H with another super chat. We appreciate you, Mike H. He says Hitboy flexing his versatility. When Hit first dropped that short on IG, I thought it was his beat and not Alchemist. Same. Made me realize his versatility. I mean, think about what if you go through King's Disease, right? And then you see what he did with Benny the Butcher, and then you list off all the things he's done in the past. Like, this guy there is no Hitboy sound. If you don't hear that Hitboy drop in the beginning of the beat, you just hear the beat midway through the song, you might not know who's producing it, or you'll assume it's somebody else. You know what I mean? What do you think about that? Like, the versatility, Danny? Like, is Hitboy making the claim for the number one producer spot right now?
Bro, like you just said, the nigga has no sound, and all the beats are fire. Like, even the greats, when we heard it, we knew who it was. I know a Primo beat when I hear it. I know a RZA beat when I hear it. I know a Dre beat when I hear it. I don't know a Hitboy beat when I hear it, bro, unless they announce it. And he's been behind some really great records, bro. So it's versatility is definitely when you think of production versatility, Hitboy's name will be on that definition. The dictionary, that'll be his picture right there. This shit is elite, bro.
Yo, this is like all right. I'm gonna come to sincere. We're gonna break down the song with Alchemist and Hitboy in a second. But he made a comment saying that he was Kanye's best student or his number one graduate. So I don't remember the bar exactly. But do you think this versatility comes from early Kanye? Remember when Ye first came out? Some of those beats we had no idea was Ye. Was this some of Ye's teaching you think disseminated through Hitboy?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, when we go back to early Kanye, simultaneously working with Jay and the whole Rock, as well as Talib Kweli and Mos Def, and those underground dudes, Common later on, Dilated Peoples. And then he was making R&B joints for Alicia Keys, for Janet Jackson. Like, that is, and everything he put out was fine. Every song that he produced, I was immediately a fan of. You know what I mean? And so that roundedness, that versatility between different scenes, different sounds, different types of artists, you know what I mean? Artists with different wavelengths, and somehow he was able to maneuver between all of that and give them all fire. That's what we see Hitboy doing now. You know what I mean? Absolutely. He is absolutely from that Kanye school, man. For real.
All right, so Mace, Metro responded, ironically using the Kendrick Lamar bar. Did you see that response where he screenshot the lyrics? As a person who likes to stir the pot, Mace, what did you think about Metro using a Kendrick Lamar lyric to get his point across?
Very strategic, you know what I mean? Very strategic. I appreciated it because listen, as great as Hitboy is, as much as Hitboy is doing, Metro don't have no reason to feel like Hitboy is over him right now. You know what I mean? My man just dropped an album that outsold most rappers this year. You know what I mean? The rappers featured on the track, he sold more than them. You know what I mean? And to me, these are the two top guys for the spot. You mentioned this Hitboy, the guy right now. I think it's either him or Metro right now. And it's like the thing is, it's like the Shaq Kobe argument. Who was better? Kobe could do everything, but that one thing that Shaq could do made him so effective and so dominant that it's like, wait a second, you know what I mean? It's like we talking about this guy here. So it's like, I feel like I don't think it's a clean sweep for Hitboy as much as Hit is doing, and I know our side of hip hop and our side of the internet is very familiar with Hitboy's accolades. But Metro has a claim to the spot too. I'm not gonna lie, y'all.
You know what, Metro
more versatile too, though.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Metro, for me, I'm not saying that they're on the same level. But what I think of, like, when I was young, I could, like, think of myself being impressionable during the trap era. Like, Metro was, like, for the trap era, what Timbaland was for me in my early teens into, like, adulthood, like, what that Timbaland beat was. When Metro came on the scene and his sounds, granted, trap is trap, but he was one of the first guys to me who made his shit sound way more different than everybody else's trap sound. There was a bunch of other dudes who was making trap, than it was what Metro was doing, especially alongside Future. If there's a guy who has a classic under his belt, I think it's Metro. Metro's either been involved with classics or he's been at the helm of classics.
Yeah.
So I think the only thing that Hitboy has above Metro is versatility. That's it.
I mean, Hitboy said it. I never heard. I think this was the bar that was directed at Metro. He was like, I never heard him chop up some soul.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Was that to Metro? Or that might have been to somebody else. I can't.
That
was to Metro.
I think he said he never heard Metro do boom bap.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And he always says an 808 and Sizzler, whatever dude's name is.
Metro could do it though. I personally
Southside.
want a Metro and Benny project. I think Metro sounds with Benny the Butcher flows would be something ungodly, bro. I think that's the project. If he gets with one of these barred up dudes, Metro can make a classic. I think.
And I saw a random Twitter like rumor today that they said Metro and Pusha are working together. Yeah.
You didn't drop that in the chat, Mace?
My fault.
Ah, damn, man.
Because he wanted this moment.
That's
more.
Yeah.
That's more of a better
Pusha
fit, y'all, for me. You know what I'm saying? Than Benny.
He was too busy digging up dirt on Big.
You know, I had to, man. I gotta fight back.
Metro and Pusha
That's an inside
T,
joke, yo.
Y'all wouldn't hear from me for weeks. I'd be too busy listening to that album.
I think
y'all would have
that's
to do
a
the
way better
pod
fit,
yourself. Y'all don't hit my phone. Don't call my phone. It's just gonna be playing that project. Whoa, Metro.
Because I just need to see if Benny has the
Benny could do it, bro.
the bouncy record
Tana Talk
aspect.
5. Tana Talk. Think about the
that
trappy songs when Pusha when Future was in his drug dealer bag. To me, I just think about DS2 soundscapes, and I always thought about this should have been an East Coast niggas album. I've always felt that way, and I think Benny could make a DS2 type of album, bro.
Future hit every pocket on that DS2 album, bro. Every pocket.
Yeah. So to this Alchemist Hit-Boy record, no one thought it was coming. Nobody expected it. A pleasant surprise for the culture. In an era where everything is a rollout, we got a pleasant surprise. There was a little bit of rollout for it. Fair is fair with the, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we didn't know we were getting this. So Cecilia, I come to you. Overall, what did you think about these two producers coming together, flipping samples and rapping over each other's beats on the same track?
Love it. Like just tailor made for Sincere. You got Alchemist, one of my favorite producers of all time. He's been making classics, a little bit more on the underground / overground side. And Hitboy, who, as we've said, has had that overground mainstream success, but now is gravitating more so towards the, slightly more underground, overground. And I think this is a match made in heaven, honestly. I think both of them can, sort of the same way that Hitboy and Nas has been able to feed off each other. I think if Hitboy and Alchemist start collabing some more, they can feed off each other crazy. Alchemist has his sound perfected, and Hitboy is such a chameleon that they might, if they collaborate some more, they might come up with some new shit that sounds like nothing we've ever heard before. You know what I mean? If I wouldn't be the snob if I didn't nitpick about something, right? So the one thing I love Hitboy, but the one thing that I think Alchemist has over Hitboy is the pause in advance, but the thickness or the roundness of his sound.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
You do this all the time, bro.
No, listen. Thick is thick. Thick to be, some ass, some thighs, whatever.
Bro.
Anyway, just say richness.
Yeah.
There's
a roundness to the sound that Alchemist has. It's a very deep sound. Right. And sometimes Hitboy's sound can be a little on the thin side. So if Hitboy can get some pointers from Alchemist to make his sound a little rounder, a little fuller, that would be amazing, right? On the flip side of things, you know what I mean? If Hitboy can, talk to Alchemist and be like, hey, you know what I mean? You're making all these beats for these types of artists, but try to gravitate over to this other side, you know what I mean? Maybe some R&B, maybe some, who knows? Not to say that there's anything wrong with what Alchemist is doing or what Hitboy is doing, but the way that they could build off each other, I think would be marvelous.
Okay.
You make a good point. I like that.
The black snob in the chat said, "Come on, Sin." Yeah, he did.
I can't say thick.
Nah, not with us.
Nah,
no.
A chick.
Rich works.
That's the
Rich
only
works.
connotation we want to hear.
It's the only connotation of thick, bro.
Not with the bros.
Not with
we not mature enough, Sin. Sorry.
And that was hard. Sin will find a way to complain about a glass on a hot summer day, man. Like
you are this close to getting a pause compilation made, bro. You this close. Word to mother.
Hey,
you know what I mean? What Deanie, talk to me, man. You heard the record. What's good, man?
I have none of the gripes Sin has, man. I thought it was beautiful. That record made me truly understand why him and Nas work so well together, bro. Like, and my one takeaway from this while listening to that was like, yo, if there was ever any assistance that will go to a Hitboy and Nas project, the only person I would want to take the helm on that would be Alchemist, bro. I just feel like
not Salam Remy.
Oh, damn it. Shout out to Salam Remy.
Mailbag coming soon. That's going to be a good one. I might just make that the whole segment and just let Sin cook, bro.
Yo, let him cook, man.
The
snob. But yeah, it just rich. It was just, to me, it was beautiful, bro. Like, and shout out to Alchemist. I didn't know Alchemist had the pen like that. This is probably the hardest verse I've heard from Alchemist, bro.
That's why people are so happy to hear Alchemist back on the mic, bro. Because like he used to have, I mean, he wasn't no elite, no Shogun, but he
started as an MC, though, right? He started as a rapper.
Technically, yes. With the Hooligans, I think his group's rap name was the Hooligans with the actor. Scott damn, I forget his name now.
Nah, but you right, the actor dude.
Yeah, the actor.
It was like some Beverly Hills.
He got a douchebag face. He always plays a douchebag, and he got that face.
Oh man, the Cali boys, I guess, huh?
Scott Kahn.
Oh, James Kahn, Sonny Corleone kid.
Yes,
he was a rapper.
Wow. Yes, bro.
Shit.
Go on YouTube and look up the Hooligans, Alchemist and Scott Kahn, bro.
Wow.
They was a rap duo.
Where are my drops? I need them tonight because that's crazy, bro.
Listen, real shit. Keeping it a buck. If we were to see that today, we'd be like, get these motherfuckers out of here, man.
Probably. Yeah. But today I'm here for it. Shout out to Alk, man. Shit was hitting.
All right, so Mace, I'm gonna let you go last because we know this is not your wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Unless you want to get it out the way.
Well, with the what you mean with the Allen Hit-Boy joint?
Yeah.
Nah, I appreciated the joint, of course, but honestly, what it got me thinking about, and I don't want to veer the convo too much, but honestly, what it got me thinking about is why don't we see this more often, and who exactly could pull this off? We know Havoc could pull it off, right? Kanye could pull it off. There's a few that could pull it off, but I was trying to think of other duos that could kind of actually try to make this move.
That you would want to listen to today?
Pete Rock and Large Pro. Take it way back.
With new music.
DJ Quick and Dr. Dre, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
If somebody wrote it, maybe. But
we might have a new playlist in the works, man.
Bink and Just Blaze.
Let them have
celebrity deathmatch, bro.
Shit,
each other up and down the whole track.
So, here's the thing. The question that I have before I get into it, for the producers, and your ear is way better than ours when it comes to this shit. Did they flip the same sample?
I doubt it. No, I mean it might have been.
So it was like two completely different beats.
Yeah, two completely different beats. And I mean, if they did flip the same sample, it was two completely different segments of it.
That's what I mean. Did they sample the same song and make two totally different beats? Is what I should say.
It's possible. I don't know what the source of the sample is.
Okay.
But yeah, if that is the case, that's even more amazing. That's just like, music to my ears. You know what I mean?
Here's my issue. I felt like Hitboy, before I get into it, there was no whack verse here. But I felt like Hitboy had a tall task following up how Alk set the tone.
Bro.
Alk has more experience.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I seen someone in the chat, not in the chat, in the comment section, saying that he was kind of flow like Rock Marcy, a little bit of Crime Apple in there. Those are the comparisons I saw. But
somebody
I
just said P.
But when I first heard it, I was like, this guy is doing his best P impersonation.
Yeah.
The breathing, the in and out, like the slightly unorthodox pocket work, but in pocket. Like that was P. But then after I listened to it like the second and third time, I could hear what they were talking about with Rock Marcy. But definitely, like, my man really, like, if P came back at his prime for One Day on Earth, like that, it was that song, bro. It was like, this guy, like, did you always have that? Did you write
him
the
and
verse?
P got history.
Right, but that's what I mean. If anybody would sound like P, it would be Alchemist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, did somebody write this verse for you? Is that what your pen sounds like now?
Man, don't do that, man.
Nah, I don't want to put that out there, Joe.
Don't put that on Alchemist,
good.
bro.
It was really that good, though, bro. I was really impressed.
I'm just wondering, did anybody did you get some assistance with that? That's all I'm wondering. He's a producer. Like, I won't be mad if someone else wrote that shit. He's not a rapper.
Sometimes you just get that feeling, though.
Alchemist had, he's had verses. He's had
songs
where you've
had
you know
rap.
what I mean?
Definitely correct.
Black, like, to me, like, Sin, you said it. Culture is the exact word, because it had that feeling, that soul, the richness, the transition from one beat to the next. None of these guys sounded out of place. Even the visual that was attached to it, how they did it, it felt like almost like a little sound clash kind of set up a little bit.
I was about to say, back in the day, I used to go to a lot of beat battles. And that's the type of energy it felt like, not on some competitive shit, but more on some love and collaborative shit. But like, you know what I mean? Just setting up a table, putting the MPC on top of it, and just going to work, just live. You know what I mean? And that I think that's the element that I loved about it the most, is that it had that live element, even though obviously it's recorded or pre-recorded, but it gave you that live feeling of like being at a sound clash or the beat battle, and
a performance.
Just got the tables up and they put the equipment up there and go to work, man. And you could see the creative process of what they're doing, man. That's beautiful to me.
Made a little video out of it.
We got a couple of super chats here. Mad Max with one saying, LOL, Metro and Rome or Stove because they give lyrical future vibes. Rome Streets on a Metro beat or Stove on a Metro. I wouldn't be mad at that. It'll be different.
I would love to hear that.
That'll be a listening experience. Crazy. That's how I would call that.
Max to A&R.
Facts. Adriel Green with the super chat says, Benny said they hated on him rhyming on Hitboy beats instead of Alchemist beats, only for the same fans like Alchemist spitting over a Hitboy beat. I mean, you know how I go with hypocrisy in hip hop. It'll never end. And again, Murder on the Proof is fire. Debate your moms. Like, it's a fire project, bro. Get out of here with that bullshit. You know what I mean? Do we have anything else to add on this Alchemist Hitboy collaboration, or can we move on?
I just
need more. Yeah. More
of it.
More of it. I want a tape. I'm not gonna lie. I want a tape.
Hell yeah.
I want a whole tape.
That would be crazy.
Speaking of beat battles and doing it for the culture and things of that nature, the Rap Roundtable was out Saturday night. We were at Contra Lounge out in LES Chinatown area, somewhere in that vicinity. Yeah. We was trying to get the Black Snob to pop out. I did because he lives in the area. I was like, yo, pop out, but he left me on red. It's cool. It's cool, Black Snob.
Black Snob, you did us nasty like that, Black Snob.
I'm gonna pull up the Chinatown eventually.
You would have been in your element, bro.
Pull up with the game.
That's why. See, I tried to put him on. I should send him a couple of the videos so he can.
You should.
Should
have pulled up with the gang, bro.
But in the midst of having a blast, having a good time, of course, networking. Shout out to the young fellas. It was their event. We were there for.
Absolutely.
I made an observation at a certain point in the night that there was. The chat always tells me specifically, not y'all so much, but me, that Jay-Z's music doesn't age well. It doesn't age well, and blah, blah, blah. At a certain point in the night, there were a lot of Jay-Z songs played. I think Sin got mad. Fair is fair. The DJ played like 4 consecutive Jay-Z songs, and Sin got mad and said, no self-respecting DJ would play 4 consecutive songs from the same artist in his
dick
set.
Riding. That's the words
that's what Sin said.
Yes,
I want to be clear.
Sincere.
And I remember
what?
And at that point, I was like,
ding drop.
For an artist that music doesn't age well, these songs dropped in the spot and the people were responding. It was pretty loud. We got a little dancing happening. The women were singing along. It was some of the songs got played front to back even. And I'm saying to myself, how can a guy's music not age well, but the people are responding like this? I don't know. You tell me, guys. I also noticed that to that point, there was no Nas being played. And I'm like, wait a minute, Nas doesn't get the vibe. There's no Esco being played in the spot, but there's a whole Jay-Z set. And I'm wondering what's going on here.
All you had to do was wait another 10 minutes, bro. It was right
more
behind
like an hour, but
it was not an hour. It was not
a
no
little
hour,
longer than 10, though. It was a little longer than 10, Sin. It wasn't no hour. It wasn't no hour, but it was a little longer than 10. Actually, maybe a little 25 joints.
Dealing with the
balance,
bro.
I got to,
dealing the balance.
But eventually, the DJ remembered the Nas had the only 3 songs he could possibly play in that spot. Don't give me
shit.
Don't get it twisted. The spot and fair is fair.
I lost my beanie, bro.
Fair is fair.
He done knocked his beanie off.
All for Chakufi?
The sniper. You know? The spot went crazy when the Esco songs came on. We smacked the Kofi off a sitting head, but it should have played different after that. Wow. It would have only been right. But I was like, I just found it real funny that, you know, y'all tell me this guy's music doesn't age well, and it rang off. It rang off.
It definitely did.
I had to wait almost 2 hours to hear Nas. And then after the Nas segment, I'm pretty sure he played some more Hov, right? Am I remembering that right? Did he play some more Hov after that?
I mean, Hov got a lot of hits.
I don't remember that part. What?
He did.
He went back to Hov? No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Not immediately after, but there was more Hov played for the night. It was more Hov.
I might have been too blasted at that point.
You was lost in the sauce.
Let's talk about that for a second. Before I pass it, because this is a real funny part that I'll talk about on the pod. The spot had like a little drink special, right? So I was like, yo, Sin, I'm running late. They got the drink special. Get me one of those. I got you when I get there. It had a 2-for-1 joint. Yeah. So I pull up to the spot. DD ain't get there yet. I'm like, yo, what's up? Sin, what up? Before I could even finish dapping up Sin, 2 randoms standing next to Sin is like, oh, you're his friend? Because he had so many drinks lined up in front of him, and we were really concerned about him. And I'm like, yo, I don't even know you.
Let me paint the picture, because I literally had 4 drinks in front of me. Because I hit Job on the text, and he was like, yo, order me one. I didn't think he meant order me. I thought he meant order me an order, a 2-for-1 order, right? So I ordered an order for me, which is 2-for-1, and then a separate order for Job, also 2-for-1. So I literally have 4 drinks sitting in front of me. And shorty that was sitting next to me at the bar was like, "You gonna drink all those drinks? Can I be worried about you?" And mind you, this place Katra, shouts to Katra, their bartenders do a heavy pour.
Shout out to the bartenders.
Shout out to the bartenders. I tipped them exponentially because
they did right.
They did us right, bro.
Shout out to the bartender.
4 heavy pours. Tequilas and lemonades, and they were sitting right in front of me, and shorty was like, yo, you really good? Now I'm like, nah, my boy's coming. I think she didn't leave me for a little bit until he showed up.
Like, a part of me was annoyed because like I couldn't even finish a dap on my homie before they were trying to send him to AA. But then the next part of me was like, yo, we have people who are truly concerned about the well-being of my friend. You know what I mean?
If you remember, we didn't even really complete the dap because I literally handed you the drink immediately so that shorty would get off my back about it. I was like, no, this is yours. Could you tell her this is yours, please?
2-for-1 drink specials hit right, man.
Them shit's hit right, bro.
They hit.
Shouts to Katra, shouts to the young fellas again.
Shout out to the gang.
But Mace, what do you think about my experience in the spot with the Jay-Z and Nas of it all? The poorly aged music.
You're experiencing something that happens often. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of these people who say Jay-Z's music didn't age well never necessarily like Jay-Z's music, right? They're more like projecting, like, I don't think this aged well. You know what I mean? But let's be real. If Big Pimpin' comes on, bro, Do It Again comes on. These are joints you're not even mentioning. I'm just randomly throwing it out there. But I've been outside when these joints have come on and seen the reaction, bro. So it's like, I'm not shocked by that. You know, the 3 Nas songs that were played are the 3 Nas songs that gets played outside. You know what I mean? That's the joints, bro. That's it. You know what I mean? And you know, like, and even Sin mentioned, I think Sin mentioned that one of the J's, this is off air, guys. Sin mentioned that one of the songs that were played were Best of Me, right?
Yeah.
That's a remix, yeah.
And I literally heard that like on a random shuffle on my Apple Music the other day. And I thought to myself, like, this is what gets lost, even in our, you know, verses against, you know, the fellas, you know what I mean? It gets too much in what's like the best like lyrics and what's the best song. Like in real life, when Jay-Z throws on that Best of Me outside, like what kind of response does anyone have for that? Lil Wayne, T.I., all you niggas that was popping shit, bro.
It
Like,
fucked up the whole club, Mace. It fucked up the whole club, bro.
And that's
Everybody
not
was
no
singing that
number
shit.
one Billboard hit, you know what I mean? Like some diamond selling single. That's just a random joint that was out in the summer of '99, bro. Like, this is what I'm talking.
That's a fact.
So,
yeah,
Job, I'm not shocked, bro. Like,
even in the moment, I had a candid moment with Job. I was like,
double nickel,
bro. I was like, bro, this shit, this song right here, that verse, that shit did a lot, bro.
Both verses.
That one Best of Me remix verse did a
crazy.
lot. No, the first verse cool, but Carolina Blue Kicks, hottest nigga on the block. Used to really bicycles since I was six.
Wave the way pics, like, bro. He was talking a lot, shit. Bro.
It did a lot.
You see what it did to the club?
And everybody will sing along to it, bro. Everybody will know that shit.
But because the chat, I know they're gonna need this to go to sleep. The spot, the spot went crazy. The spot went crazy to Made You Look Crazy.
Oh,
absolutely.
Crazy. I went crazy to Made You Look. Like, don't get it
it's heavy.
I said I got some jokes for the chat, but
holster your weapons, chat. Holster your weapons.
But the Nas records. But the Nas records that belong in the club did what they were supposed to do. Like, I would have loved to have heard Thun in that spot. I don't know if that spot would have resonated. Maybe there's enough dudes in there. They probably would have rocked.
Yeah, of course.
Thun would have got off. But,
I want to get light.
But you already know, of course, when we talk about these things and we have fun with it, there's always at least one person who doesn't know what the fuck is going on. They don't get it. We have Jack Lang.
I'm looking for him.
He says, Job, I thought you were a J Stan. I apologize. Mace is a groupie. So yeah,
Mace.
That one guy that just
listen. You know how it goes.
He can't handle a Jay-Z adulation. He has to throw some disrespect at
Gotta feel it.
And make him upset. I thought it was gonna be Duke Katarina, so I you know, we got a few people that be throwing his shots
on the checkerboard floors.
Yeah,
man.
Get my Rock Nation gear ready. You know what I mean?
Shout out to the homie Leroy, man.
All right, so we got a couple of super chats on deck. We got Mad Max. He says, "I changed my mind. Metro need to hit up Chef G when he free. Chef, the modern day slow down. The modern day Biggie and Metro will be crazy. The modern day Biggie. I don't even. Anybody want to say something to that?
Ain't no modern day Biggie. Please stop.
I've heard that. That's not the first time
modern
I've heard
day.
I don't believe it, but that's not the first time.
He's just not nice enough, and that's not a slight. I like Chef G. He's just not nice enough to be.
That's hard. Yeah,
like, just because he's a little overweight and dark skinned, let's not compare him to Biggie. That's almost racist.
Who said that?
Mad Max.
Shout out to Mad Max, but we don't do that here. You know what I'm saying? We don't, bro.
Hey, yo. Adriel Green with the super chat says, on the topic of Nas and Jay, as New Yorkers, can y'all real quick talk about the impact of cult classics, Belly and Streets is watching movies on the superstardom of Nas, DMX, and Jay in 98? We'll get there. We might make that a topic in and of itself. I don't think we can do it justice right now.
For sure, on the pod.
For the main stage.
Yeah.
Michael Williams says, rank their flows from best to worst. Rakim, Big, Pun, Nas, AZ, J, and Big L. That's interesting.
That's a lot.
If it's flows, I'm going with Big and Ho. If it's just flows,
number
Big
one.
And Ho.
What's the names they named again?
Ooh, Rakim, Big, Nas, Pun, AZ, J, and Big L.
Big, and Rakim the top three.
Flow wise,
with Big and Hove, man. They got the most flows.
I'm putting the God in there, bro. I'm sorry.
For flows, Rakim got the most flows.
Big is up there.
Yeah.
All right, we talk about the potency of the flow or how many different flows they got.
Right, because he didn't say variety of flows.
Yeah, Michael Williams, you got to, you know what I mean?
Let's get into the complexities of this.
Yeah, you gotta be more specific about that.
We're gonna do Adriel's topic for 67. I think that's a good podcast topic to really break down in studio. Just so that we could give Adriel that love, give him like a whole segment where we break that down, because we've tippy-toed around the impact of those movies and how important it was to their careers. I think we should really do it justice. Michael Williams.
Yeah, I might fuck around, put Pun in there.
From best to worst.
Pun
is part of the list.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But I might put him up there.
Leah M, come on, baby.
Wow.
Belly came out in 98, and was Jay selling out arenas then? Yes, because the Hard Knock Life album was killing the streets.
Don't pay attention.
Come on, baby.
Leah trying to just start problems. Leah a pot stirrer. Let me come on your podcast, Leah, and stir the pot.
Don't do that, beloved.
Hold up.
Come on your pod. Let me come on your pod, Leah. Let me stir the pot.
Talk some shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
She did try to. She really did, Mace.
I think at least one person should give like Michael a full answer.
I'm about to right now. I'm looking at it. I got pun number one.
Pun number one. I'm putting
flows.
Flows.
Nah, no way.
I can't put
Pun Flow ain't all world.
It's me.
Pun Flow is all world, but Biggie Smalls, bro?
Yeah, this is big. Biggie like the king of the flow.
I'm putting Big number one.
Pun got top three.
I might put Pun 2 or 3.
Pun got a better flow, more flows than Hove. Better flow.
Jay and Nas.
This is becoming a grenade. I'm getting nervous.
I can't.
Pun don't have a better flow than
Shout out to
This is becoming a grenade, bro.
You know what's crazy though? Like AZ might end up being like 5th or 6th.
AZ's, I would say AZ's flow has sustained the test of time. Like there hasn't been much.
It's
like
been
residual.
consistent. It's been consistent, but it
on that list. I got Big L last.
It's not an all-world flow.
I go with that, Mace.
You know what I mean? Big L, the same thing, and he only had a little amount of time, bro. Like,
right.
But yeah, this is not a fair fight for Big L. This is loaded.
Why is Jack trying to make this a Jay-Z thing? We not. This is Jack.
Oh man,
enjoy the show. We don't do that here. You know what I mean? Like you keep calling my name. It's talking about Jay-Z. When I want to talk about Jay, I'll talk about Jay. But I want to answer this. I'm going to give my answer. Fuck y'all niggas. I'm going to give my answer.
All right.
I got pun number one. Because the breathing for a man his size and the
it's ridiculous.
People can't do that to this day.
At 400 pounds, damn near.
I'll go Biggie second, right? Hove got to go third. I don't care what y'all say.
He got to, bro.
Hove got to go third. Because Hove, when he was Hove, bulletproof vest all the way through to the button up. He was switching his flow. He used to switch his flow mid-verse or from verse to verse. Like it was immaculate. And he had that shit with the originators. So he used to dabble. He stole a little bit of that in there as well. Immaculate. I'll put Rakim 4. So I got Pun, Big, Hove, The God, 1, 2, 3, 4. AZ 5. L6, Nas last.
Nas that what?
Yo, you really can't go wrong, but you can't go wrong. You dig?
Who is this guy? Get him out of here! Who is he?
I wonder how much of y'all in the chat knew it was gonna go that way. Just comedy style. I'm not even being serious.
Who is this guy?
Fellas, on that note, I'm gonna put out. Get to the fam and all that, you know what I mean? Kill the rest of the joint, you know. And I agree with y'all. Nas is either last or second to last on that list. Y'all take it easy.
Fuck, yeah, you can't drop that in dip, bro.
On go time.
Mace ducking the fade. That's what he's doing.
Shout out to Mace.
We got another super chat from Non Plus. Shout out to the God Non Plus. He says music not aging well to me. Means that it won't resonate as much with the first time listeners. If you're at a club full of 30 to 50-year-olds, I don't go to clubs with 50-year-olds. I don't know what you mean by that. Then yeah, Jay-Z stuff will hit because he grew up with it. So you talking now plus you're literally talking out of both sides of your mouth because you're in that 30 to 50 age range saying that it doesn't age well, but at the same time you're saying if I'm in a spot with people that age, they're gonna fuck with it. What are you saying? Send help.
But that, I mean, shouldn't that be part of the aging process? Like
you grew up with it.
Yeah, it's like, look, I guess it depends on where your life is at. Like when you're approaching 50, You know what I mean? Like if you're, if you're a house dad or a house, house mom or whatever, and you don't go out and you really don't party and you just want to listen to music that sort of speaks to where your life is at now, maybe you don't connect with Jay shit as much, but I mean, I'm still outside. Look, I'll keep it a whole bean. I'm approaching 45 this year. You know what I mean? The feet hurting, the back is a little more sore than it used to be. I'm about to switch to New Balances instead of Nikes because Nike is doing me dirty right now. But I like to be outside, especially when the summertime weather comes around. I like to be outside. I like to feel the energy. I may not be, like on the dance floor. I may not be like trying to like pull as many chicks as possible. That's not my sport no more. But you know what I mean? Like if I'm at the bar and there's music playing and Hole comes on, it's ringing off, bro. It's resonating. It's absolutely resonating.
Okay. We got another super chat here. Adria Green says, better first, Cole Creed 3 song or Jay-Z The Watcher 2? We're going to get into that Cole topic in a second, and then we'll answer that question during that segment because, it's up there. Cole did his thing. I know Sin got some takes. Uncle Frame says, guys, when my wife asks, can I get her after a few Coronas? That means we going to overtime for the night. I'm 47. Nas fans need to have some. Wow.
Whoa. Can I get a
few Coronas? That means we going to overtime.
That was a top rope, bro.
That wasn't me this time, guys. I don't even know Uncle Frame. That's not my man's, but I appreciate the super chat, and he's not wrong. The love. He's not wrong. So since the rap snob, J. Cole drops his record. Seems like every time Cole drops, it's like he's getting another Infinity Stone. He's dropping another gauntlet. He's making it real clear that he feels he's him right now. So what are your thoughts on this new joint from J. Cole?
So this new joint is off of the Creed 3 soundtrack, which shouts to Dreamville. Dreamville manned the whole thing. So they're doing big things. As far as the J. Cole record, it's the one J. Cole record that's on there by himself. Well, actually, the only J. Cole record because he's not on none of the other records. But he definitely made his mark with this record. I'll keep it a buck. As far as like me liking the song is okay, right? But I was definitely like digging deep into the lyrics. And he was really talking his shit. He was talking heavy shit on this shit, right? So I'm gonna just read a little bit off of what he said on the joint. And he was emulating Dr. Dre's song or his flow, where he said things just ain't the same for young Jermaine, still underrated but far from underpaid. And though some problems did fade, the hunger stayed. These stomach rumbles could humble thunder. I'm still fueled by the ones that slumber, the standout amongst the one-hit wonders, right? So it's very clear that J. Cole still feels that chip on his shoulder about not getting the respect as an MC and as a lyricist that he feels other rappers are getting. And again, we'll revisit the briefly the Billboard and Vibe list where that put Kendrick Lamar at number 2 and Drake at number 8 and then J. Cole at number 15. You know what I mean? So clearly he feels a type of way. Also, this very much sounds to me like there's an album coming. You know what I mean? Like he had the joint, and I think he alluded to it too somewhere in the lyrics. He said something about Cole flow is cold in any genre. So to me, that was alluding to the collab joint he did with the Korean dude, J
Hope.
J Hope. Yeah, J Hope. You know what I mean? But the way he's talking on here, like he's definitely he's continuing to like really put his stamp on the game, or at least trying to solidify his stamp on the game. And it definitely sounds like there's, from the energy of it, it sounds like there's an album around the corner to further solidify his legacy and his position in the game, and trying to move up in the ranks that other platforms have put him. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I'm definitely on board with Sincere as far as our project is coming. Like, I don't want to call these preseason games, but these are definitely, I would say, warm-ups. Like, he's starting to let the space know, like, I'm on the way again. I don't know if it's going to be late spring, summer. Is he going to try? But to answer Adriel's question about the comparison of Jay on the Watcher 2 to this record here, like, I'll be honest with you, like, the Watcher 2 in real time, did we care that much besides the fact that we had the God on the record? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
it's not much of a, like, Cole got it.
A lot of people will talk about the Watcher 2. It's not one of my favorite J records. It's not one of my favorite Dre records. So
to me, that's one of those internet, like, those revisionist joints.
Sensation.
Right, there you go, Deanie.
Because we didn't hear that type of chatter in real time, like that hype. We didn't experience that in real time. Like,
a lot of songs off that album was celebrated. That wasn't one of them. You know,
no, it wasn't. Right. And Cole right now. Oh, Leah said you look great for your age. Say you should shout out. Hey, Leah. You know,
hey girl,
you look great. You know, he could give you some relationship advice on your podcast. We invading your podcast. Leah. Tell your guys Leah, the Rap Roundtable is invading your pod. But the thing that I'm hearing from Cole, and it's something that I, as a rap fan, that I personally love, is as when you watch like the evolution of an artist from day one, album one, mixtape one, to when they finally start to feel themselves, that they peak of their powers. It's a little thing that a lot of y'all may or may not notice, but it's the change in the octave of their voice. A lot of times the artists come out there, with the exception of Nas. Nas had it day one. See, a Nas compliment. Nas been Nas day one. He's one of those. He was instant oatmeal. You know what I mean? He didn't need nothing.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
What you mean?
Instant oatmeal? That makes it.
What I mean is he didn't need to do shit. It was there.
All right,
like, you was
natural,
bro.
Copy.
You know what I'm saying?
Careful.
Nas ain't need to do nothing but just keep making fire music. Like Nas voices change a little bit over the years, but a lot of artists are not confident in their voice in the beginning stages. And as they get more confidence within recording, hearing themselves, understanding how the waves work, because the times I remember when I managed the artist, his waves used to be like this because he couldn't control his voice. The voice control wasn't there. And eventually the waves, the recorded waves would be real tight. And then he started rhyming at a higher octave because now he knows how to control his voice. Because a lot of times guys are afraid to sound like they're yelling into the microphone when they're rapping a little bit louder. And Cole is in that space where if you listen to Cole first album to Cole today, it's two different artists. He's very confident. The flow is water. It almost seems like he's almost like Ray Allen. Like when Ray Allen would shoot the shot, there's no effort. Steph Curry, like there's no effort with the flowing. There's no effort with the bars. Some guys, you listen to them rap or they do freestyles, every bar seems like it's painstaking, like it's a long, drawn out build up to a punchline that's not even that fire. Cole is just delivering. And if he drops an album this year, we're going to have that conversation about him being number one again. Because we had him number one 2 years in a row before he took a year off.
Yeah.
If he's rapping like this and the album sounds like this, with the rapping that he's doing, where he's not getting touched, like honestly, we might need if this is the time where we need to get the three guys we always put together on a song and argue about who had the best verse. Always put him and Kendrick in the ring right now. Kendrick is active. Kendrick is in shape. We need a song. We need to argue about who had the better verse. It's time now.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, but you know, we talked about it some time ago. Kendrick, he might be past that stage. I mean, in terms of being in the ring.
I can't take a shot.
Which I don't. I mean,
why?
You know what? It's hard for me to buy that because, like, right before he said that, I mean, relatively recently before he said that, he was on the Baby Keem record and he was talking.
He was going in
wild shit on that, like you know, smoking on your top five. So. It remains to be seen how.
Need to see it really happen, though. Need to see it really happen, though.
You know, all joking and Mr. Mid slander aside, I said that he elevated to Shogun as far as being a pen to paper, a pen to pad rapper. I think he is that. It's not hard for Kendrick anymore. I think him and to me, like they're neck and neck pause as far as like where they are as artists. Like Drake is doing something else. I think Drake got the pushback from his that album we won't talk about, and he tried to rap some more. But I don't even think Drake's pen is consistently as sharp as it was, let's say, 2016. Or again, going back to the spot Saturday, when we hear Stay Scheming, that guy is totally different from the guy we get today as far as being a rapper.
On one.
You know what I mean? On one, like this, them days. So I think Cole and Kendrick, they need to collab. On the next Cole album, I would love a Kendrick feature. I think the culture would appreciate that if it's about culture.
Wasn't it? I feel like when they dropped the joint that had the Untitled joint. It's like they were working together to do something, but everything just seemingly fell through. Sen, you know about that? Like when they were like,
there was a lot of talk about a possible collaborative album between Cole and Kendrick, but that seemed like eons ago.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it whatever also happened with Nas and Primo's album or any other collaborative album that people talk about and then just doesn't happen, right? Dr. Dre been talking about dropping Detox for 20 years and that should never, it just didn't happen. You know what I mean?
You know, sometimes guys they get in the studio or they get together, they have a couple drinks, they talk about, yo, let's get together, let's cook, and they just have a moment and it don't go beyond that moment.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
You know what I mean? We got another super chat here. Let me make sure I get that. I'll be trying to do the super chats right before Miss LB beats me up. Melanin Man says Rakim got to be numero uno because the greatest era ever, 90s in parentheses, were his sons. And I gotta admit, I'm more of a Nas fan, but Jay-Z gets the ladies. Appreciate that, Melanin Man. Don't be a groupie, because according to Jack, you say anything good about Jay-Z or a groupie. Job, what's your favorite off the new Makami? My favorite off the new Makami is that combination of everybody followed by Olajuwon late in the tape. To me, Sid made a great point in a group chat where he said that like the God Fahim, like this tape, he kind of got off more elevated on that tape, and it felt like Makami was just playing the point guard and just feeding Fahim the cook. Because I feel like as he's getting more verses, he's the next guy I think from their little circle that's gonna elevate to that someone who's gonna become anticipated. But to me, I love the tape. But everybody, I sent it in the group chat like Super Saiyan. When Ma got on that verse, the rhyme schemes, the flow, like the slightly offbeat Hove impersonation that he does from time to time, where it's just like he's just pulling words out the air on everybody. It's just like, yo. Again, shout out to Judas. Judas was the first one to buy stock. I give Judas his credit. He was on Makami first.
Makami is a special kind of nice. Y'all heard how he was supposed to be on a written testimony?
I didn't hear about
Jay
that.
and Jay Elect. And apparently he spent some verse for a feature, and apparently somebody said like it knocked Hove's hat off or something, or maybe whatever, the same shit happened to me, like he just leaned back and the hat fell off. But yeah, like he was supposed to have a ill verse on that shit, and then it just never made the album. It got cut somehow. I don't know. Maybe Jay Elect ain't want to, he outshined by two niggas instead of one.
He definitely did.
Be careful, Sin, because they act like that Jay-Z performance ain't happened on that album.
Stop it, man. Hov was wiping the floor with that man.
Listen, again, real is real. I love Jay Electronica. I'm the one that's always talking about Jay Electronica, or historically has always talked about Jay Electronica at this roundtable. But his performance on a written testimony was not my favorite.
They didn't like Hov the 5%er.
Give me Exhibit C, Exhibit A. Give me the what the fuck is the Jay Electronica mixtape?
Yeah, that was tough.
Give me the album that got shelved and finally got leaked like a couple years ago. That shit was
Eternal Sunshine. I'll take some of that.
Yeah, the Eternal Sunshine joint. There's a lot of shit, man. Shouts to Jay Elect, but
thank you, Miss LB, for explaining to Jack that what we do here with rap is have fun. If you want a serious rap show where we just sit down with our library voices and hushed tones and be serious all the time, this is not the podcast for you.
We don't do that. You want to
laugh, you want to chop it up with your homies, have a drink on the side, look at a woman when she's walking by, and ladies look at a guy if he's walking by. You like his fit? This is the show for you. You want the serious rap show? Go somewhere else. Since the super chat is for you, did y'all like the Conway and Jay Ski's EP?
It was okay. I think for me, it's getting to that point in Conway's career where like I'm looking for something that makes a mark, that leaves a stamp. You know what I mean? And it's a little EP with his associate. from DrumWorks, right? DrumWorks, the label. So, you know, he just put it out there to have some music and some content out there. But as far as like a project that I'm going to be spinning on a regular basis, and it will be in heavy rotation, probably not. It was good. It just, for me, it wasn't enough.
Okay. I mean, I got to tap into that. I think I was on Facebook or somewhere where I was saying, I think it was a comparison with Conway and somebody else. And I was saying that like Conway was to compare him as wrestlers, but I forgot who it was. And I was like, Conway's like Chris Benoit and the other person's like Eddie Guerrero, both great technical wrestlers, but one is just, it might be Benny. I'm gonna go back to the conversation. But I think that if Conway can you know, get a little bit of that Eddie Guerrero spice, charisma, because to me, there's no better rapper. There's so much technical rapping right now, breathing, bars, flow, subject matter, I'm nicer than you, bravado, all of that. Conway, I got a hard time picking a person over Conway. It's so easy. Maybe Cole and Conway to me are the two guys in that conversation where it's just like, it's so easy and effortless. But it's like, you don't make the songs that we want to hear.
Here's the thing for me. I'll be completely honest. I'm growing a little tired of the 70 BPM range beats. You know what I mean? And that seems to be you know, a bag that Conway has found himself comfortable in. And a lot, you know, again, with a lot of artists, they get in the comfort zone and they find it very difficult to pull themselves out of it.
Right.
Conway, and I've said this for some time, Conway got to pull himself up out of that comfort zone, get some beats that's like 86, 88, 90 BPMs, and let that flow like really ring off, bro. Because he could do it. He's just in his comfort zone.
Shout out to the homie Rim. Rim posted on Twitter, I think yesterday, where he was listening to beats.
Yeah,
they were all in that 70 BPM range, and he was like nodding off. It's like we need it. Like to me, rap is just so sectional now, where it's either 70 BPM, soul sample, no drums, or trap. Whatever happened to some balance of everything. That's why Hitboy is who he is, because he gives you a little bit of. He's a buffet of everything. You know what I mean?
Full circle. Full circle.
Yeah, Conway nice, but there comes a time where you have to be a little more than just nice. You get what I'm saying? There comes a time, we all know you got the bars to death. We need the music, bro. We need songs that actually, put on a new Conway. I actually want to feel like that. Put on that new Conway.
Listen, absolutely zero disrespect, because unfortunately, you know, he succumbed to violence before he was able to see his full potential. But, you know, Big L, and like I get that Big L feeling where it was like, yeah, he's dumb nice, kill it on the freestyles. He always give you, you know, a potent verse, but like in terms of the records,
songs, yeah,
we need a couple of those. You know what I mean? And we don't know where Big L would have ended up. With who was it that sent it in the group chat recently? Mace. I think it was Mace that just sent it in the group chat fairly recently, where there was like an actual recording of it was a answering machine message.
Oh, when he was signing to Rock,
there was going to be a party to celebrate him signing to Rockefeller. So who, you know, this, you know, again, talking about Big L.
Crazy.
And so, you know, the rumors had circulated for a long time, but we never really saw or heard any definitive evidence that he was actually going to sign with The Rock until this one answering machine message started circulating the internet. So who knows what would have happened for Big L. You know, if that would have taken place, but you know, his life got cut short. RIP to L, man.
And like we talked about, it don't even have to be a poppy song. Like whatever happened to getting an R&B singer or a songstress to just do your hook and a fire bridge, and you rap about some street shit or some street love. Every drug dealer had this one lady who's ride or die for him. She visited him in jail. All of these things. Whatever happened to that song? Like, it don't have to always be bubblegum poppy. It could just be a song with a nice little R&B hook. You get the girls to sing. You get the girls that where it resonates with them, where they had that street dude that they fell in love with. We're not even getting that from Conway.
Listen,
when he did the whole shit with Luda and JID, I thought that was so dope for him, bro. when he made Scatterbrain, he made joints with some more higher tempo joints. And this was so different and it was so raw. He needs to get back to doing that. Cause like I said, there's so many of these guys, we know y'all nice, B, but y'all need records at the end of the day.
He ended up on the Tonight Show off of that. You know what I mean? Like,
bruh.
Facts. Get Mary to give you a hook. Mary still got one more hook in her. Dust Mary off.
Shout out to Mary.
I was about to say too, like back in the day, you used to have like an album cut, but then you would make the radio remix. You know what I mean? One More Chance.
Yeah.
All I Need. Big L MVP. There was like the tape version was different from the radio video version. Get back to that. Make a radio remix. You know what I mean?
And we talked about it. Who's the girl? You had to Google her, dark skin shorty who has a beautiful voice.
Ari Lennox
and Conway.
Yeah.
That'd be tough.
Yeah.
Because the hood love Ari Lennox.
Yeah, they do.
But see, a lot of these artists will feel like they're, they selling out. You know what I mean?
But at a certain, now it goes to the question: are you just comfortable here? Do you want to be more than Benny? Clearly wants to be more than what he is currently. He wants to be the guy. Does Conway want to be the guy? He just want to be the nicest.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you're the nicest, like you got to have a record.
Still need records, bro. Yeah.
I see the chat shouting out E, shouting out Coop, shouting out Mike, shout out to the other creators.
Shout out to the homies.
We kind of populate the same algorithm. They've all pulled through the rap roundtable except Mike D. Mike D, we calling you out. Pull up to the rap. E's guy here, Coop guy here. You the last one. You know what I mean?
Coop came out and had a drink, bro.
Matter of fact, chat, y'all shouting them out, right? Make sure y'all go on Wednesday when they live and run it up. Mike D need to pull up to the rap round table, come to our lunch table, crack some jokes, get roasted a little bit, drop some knowledge. Coop stood in the pocket for almost 3 hours. Mike D can do it.
Shout out to Coop.
You know what I mean? We got anything else we want to cover before we get out of here? I think we did a solid hour.
Nah, I think I'm good for tonight, man.
Real quick. Oh, I got a hot take. I saw somebody mention Ransom and Rome Streets in the chat. Ooh. I think Coup de Grace is nobody's topped that album yet. Since it dropped in that space, in that overground space.
Yeah.
Name a better album since Coup de Grace dropped. That's better than that.
And it had records.
Right.
Not just dope bars. The songs were actually dope.
I would say whoever EP'd that record and whoever mixed. Oh, we know who mixed the record. Mm-hmm. But he
knows who we are too.
Shout out to Parks.
Parks was across the room and somehow ended up right behind us when the listening started.
We see you
next time, Parks.
But yeah, man, whoever EP'd that record and to get Parks on the mixing and mastering, like, do it again. And that's for anybody. That's for Conway. That's for Rome Ransom. Just that formula with Coup de Grace, that shit was a winning formula. Please do it again, somebody.
Yes, sir.
Jack just said, Sin, that Coop is a better Nas fan than you. I guess you gotta probably have to reapply.
Sheesh.
What do I need to do, man? How can I get my card back?
No acknowledgement of Jay-Z ever.
So everything Jay-Z did was whack. Everything Nas did was fire.
Uchi Wally was the greatest verse of all time.
Who killed it is an amazing song.
The Nasir project was fire.
Produced by the best Nas producer of all time, Salam Remy. That's what
Nasir album's the top 5 Nas album.
I'm gonna write up a script of everything I need to say to get
you know how it goes.
All right, fellas, we're gonna wrap it up right now.
Yeah. Actually, sorry, real quick. Shouts to Classic Material. Deanie and I was at
that's right.
Shout out to
Biggie party last week Thursday on March 9th, celebrating Biggie out in Brooklyn as his own night. Shouts to Scram Jones, who was DJing the party. He seen us, he came up to us, he saluted, gave us dap, he showed love. Shouts to MC Search, who was also in the party.
Yes, sir.
I don't think he came up to us, but
he did it. But I got footage with him. Shout out to DJ Spinner.
Yeah,
he was there at the De La Soul event. Also pulled up to the Classic Material event, so that was dope.
Yeah,
I mean, and celebrate culture. Jack want to be the man tonight. You ain't even give us a super chat, Jack, for all the shit you talk. You just threw like $5 our way. You know what I mean? He says, "Sin, you compromise too much with Mason job." That's how I know you don't know what's going on, Jack. That's how I know you don't know what's going on.
He said, "What? I compromise too much? Too much? What?
You compromise too much with myself and Mace. He don't know what's going on here." You don't know. Yo,
I agree when good points are made.
Hands down.
Yes.
Hands down. But we're gonna be back.
Hold on, real quick. Jack Lang said, "Sin Salam Remy made you look." Yes, I'm aware of that. He also made Who Killed It. He also made When No One Else Is in the Room. He made the bulk of Street's Disciple, which is
arguably Nas's
probably
most hated
like
album to Nasir.
I mean, it's down there. You know what I mean? It's amongst the worst of Nas's albums. Just
honestly, Jack just sounds like he's a Coop groupie now. I just came full circle. You're the groupie. He's a Coopie. We just coined it. Send the publishing over here. Jack is a Coopie. He
tells it like it is about Nas. Oh, so he praises Nas 100% nonstop. That's what you're saying? That's what you want? I bet.
No echo chambers
here.
Stay
over there.
Nah, we got something for that coming soon. We got some. We adding some more content to the Rap Roundtable for y'all entertainment. It's coming very, very soon. But in the meantime, look out for the lunch hour this Friday at noon. We'll be back then. Until next time, y'all. Dini, take us home.
Yeah, y'all already know what the vibes is. Love y'all for pulling up, fucking with us. I am Dini, the balance of the force. Jav, the point guard. Sin, the rap snob. Shout out to Macito, the voice who had the boogie. We are the Rap Roundtable, and we fucking out of here.
We love y'all. Peace.
Love.